We're at the old Skybox. I love this thing. Lance McCullers, why am I showing it to him? Day game against the Yankees. Lance McCullers having a good year, throws a lot of sliders. Remember last year in the ALCS, he threw like 23 or 24 in a row. So much is being discussed and talked about spin rate. And I want to kind of try to put a little bow on it. And what is spin rate? Why? Why do we talk about it? What does it mean? And I thought it was appropriate, certainly with Lance McCullers pitching today. So I want to show some pictures with spin rates on sliders and curveballs. Basically, when you spin the baseball, it's going to make the ball move. In this case right here, highest average slider spin rate. Here it is right here, folks, this season. That's right, Garrett Richards, Luis Severino. We got some brand names here. But as you can see, it's not Cy Young guys. Kendall Graveman, I'd sent him down. Sonny Gray's been kind of hot and cold. Chris Stratton has done a nice job, but certainly not high profile. You got Garrett Richards' ERA in the 4s. Certainly Luis Severino's that Cy Young guy. Average revolutions per minute of almost 2,400. And you see these guys are above that. So what does it mean? They know how to spin the baseball, which is important when it comes to breaking balls, curveballs, sliders. You want to be able to spin the ball. So let's go to the next full screen here. This is slider. You saw those numbers. And now here we got curveball spin. So it's a different break. Curveball's a little slower. You hold it a little differently. I'll show you that in a minute. But here we're seeing kind of the same guys again. Now Charlie Morton's on here. Pivetta, Justin Verlander. Yeah, you got a couple sides there. Charlie Morton was fantastic. He is. A couple young pitchers. You look at the average rate. Now the curveball spin, you got a little higher spin rate here. Although the average RPM is at the same at 2484 on the average curveball spin rate. I want to also now show some notable pitchers that we got some Cy Youngs. I mentioned Justin Verlander, but some other guys like a Kershaw and a Kluber. We got some Cy Youngs there. Marco Estrada. Guys that we know as guys that have good curveballs and have good break. But look at this here. I mean, we're talking almost to, what, 1,000? Less than what some of the guys, Garrett Richards and the other guys. Again, we're back to the average spin rate on a breaking ball. But look at this, Clayton Kershaw. I mean, he's just a tick over the average spin rate for a major league pitcher, either slider or curveball. So I wanted to show this because it's not always indicative of as to whether it's going to be a good breaking ball / slider or curveball. So you can still have a good curveball and look at this, these two guys here, even Betances and Marco Estrada, and be effective. So what does that mean? Location. Are you throwing it in predictable counts? Do you have great spin rate, but you're leaving it up in the zone for guys that they know you got a good curveball and it's hittable? Certainly it doesn't always show that it's effective. We're showing guys right here, spin rate average, and here they are, one of the premier pitchers, certainly when it comes to breaking ball. Let's go into some video, and I want to show what does it mean. And when I'm talking curveball, folks, anybody who remembers or knows of Sandy Koufax, this guy was it. He threw in the mid to high 90s, and he had a buckling curveball. Sandy Koufax, look, if you could stop it slow. Look at this thing. Back it up. Jeff Torborg is catcher, one of his perfect game no-hitters. Watch this. Way over top. I know it's grainy. You're not going to see it. We're going to see better spin later. But look at that. Look at the curveball, how it dropped. Sandy, amazing. Way over the top, and he spun the baseball. Stop right there. Look, wait, before you show Nolan Ryan. The reason why I showed Sandy Koufax, I got a chance to work with Sandy with the Mets. He talked about don't try to curve the baseball, try to spin the baseball. And that's how you make the ball break. And it always stuck with me. It's not about how you try to make the ball curve. Try to spin the baseball. And Sandy was always in my mind about spinning the baseball. That's why I wanted to show Sandy Koufax. We're talking about old school Nolan Ryan. Yes, he threw 105, 100-plus miles an hour. Go ahead, Luke. This guy had a great curveball. Buckler. Look at the break on that. So you got Nolan Ryan at 100-plus. Watch this here. Foot down, big curveball, down in the zone. Unhittable. He's throwing the 95-plus. Nolan Ryan, stud. Garrett Richards, let's go to modern. Look at the 12-6 overhand. That's the spin rate. Spin rate gives you late movement. And not forget about deception. Stop right there. I want to come back. So you had Garrett Richards a little bit higher. Back it up real quick. Come at release point and stop. Forward at release point, stop. Charlie Morton, we saw what he did in the postseason. He's really found a spot. Over here, stop. So if you look at the hand of a clock, would you say this is like a 10-4? Yes. I wouldn't call it 11-5. But this is a different kind of break. When you're coming off to the side, you're going to get kind of that frisbee break that goes from 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock in the zone. Go ahead and throw it. Play it forward. And you look at the spin on the baseball. Exceptional. That's a high curveball in the zone. Stop right there. I'm sorry, back up. Verlander, now we're going a little higher. Get at release point. Come forward, and stop at the release point. Now here, stop right there. So here we got a higher release point. What's going to happen on a higher release point? His break is going to be more down, a la closer to a Sandy Koufax, but not the same. If you watch here, I'm going to try to show it. Go slow, Luke. And there's a dot on the ball. Stop. Each one of these dark spots is the writing on the Major League Baseball where it says Rawlings. If you had a higher definition video, keep going. You'll see the stop. You'll see this dirt. This is one side of the ball. Keep going. Stop. You can see the dirt. This is how you determine with the naked eye. Of course, now they have StatCast of how many spins, and that's all he's trying to do. Keep going. Just go clip by clip, click by clip. See the dark spot? Go. Keep going. See it? Now this isn't, obviously we're stopping here, but this is what Justin Verlander's trying to do with an 11-5 break. The little dirt spot. That's not dirt. It's the words on the ball. Rawlings and also the Major League Baseball logo. Keep going. Keep going. All right. So that was my point. Keep going. Stop. So look at this. He's what, 6'4", 6'5". I don't know how tall Justin Verlander is, and he's throwing at this high release point on a 10-inch mound, and he's going from that area to what looks like B-Mac is catching that ball. Look at his glove here. You see it down here? It's about 4 or 5 inches off the ground. That's what makes Major League hitters do what they do. With spinning the baseball at a high release point, Brian McCann's catching this ball in the dirt. And who's that? Bellinger? Bellinger's swinging a miss. Go ahead and play it again. Or keep going. Oh, Kluber. I mean, stop right there. Back up, back up. The reason why, to me, it's a little bit confusing with him, because I think he has slider spin, but he calls it a curveball. But you come out of here. Is this similar to Charlie Morton's slat? I believe it is. This is going to be a 10-4 on the clock. But look at the spin rate. This is what pitchers try to do when it comes to a breaking ball. It has a little bit almost of a slider spin, but it's got downward break to it. Therefore, that's why we're not sure if it's a curveball or slider. He calls it a breaking ball. But look at this, that high release point, 10-inch mound, up there in Cleveland, and look at the break on it. And that's all as a result of your hand position and being able to pull the baseball down. Go ahead. Move it forward. Kluber's, stop right there. Stop. All right, now we're going back to Sandy Koufax. Go back at release point. Kershaw, I don't care that his says average spin. Get out of here. He's got one of the best curveballs in the last 10 years. Stop right there. He's coming out of a Sandy Koufax slot. Back up right at release, please. Right there. Good. Stop right here. Yeah. See on the seam here? He's on the seam. This is where you get all of your finger pressure to be able to pull the baseball down, therefore creating more spin. You create more spin, you're going to get better break. This is awesome. If you have the ability here, he peels off a little bit. The only way he could get in a high slot is the head goes off toward third base, and he's got this. This is why he has the 12-6. Go ahead and play it slow. Go. Out of his hand. Beautiful shot. Look at the spin on the baseball. If you could just try to isolate on that. It's got downward break as close to a Sandy Koufax spin as I see in modern day. I really do. I mean, and you watch it going down. This is great. He's got a great finish, as you see that, tabletop. The ball looks like it's coming out of the sky, literally. You can play it a little faster if you want, Luke. Coming down, coming down. Let's stop right there. All right, that's a strike. Who's this? That's Astro. That's a World Series shot. So that was probably an 0-0 or 1-0 getting a count curveball. Keep playing it. What do we have next? Okay, now look at this. Just keep playing it. This is what I was telling you about. What is it, 24 in a row? 24 in a row, sliders. Look at this. Boom. Every one of those Yankee hitters. Oh, he's got to throw a heater. Oh, no, it's going to be a heater. Got to be a heater. Got to be a heater. And if you look real quick on this, and I wanted to do it fast just for effect, 87, 84, 85, 84, 86. Stop right there. Let's go back to it. All right, so now this is the last guy. McCullers today. You're facing this team, D-Row. What are you going to be looking for today? Fastball? I don't think so. Stop right there. Look at this right here. So he's got the dot spin that hitters talk about, that you could see the red dot thing out of a hand. It's not a fastball break. But he throws it so hard. See that? It almost looks like a football spiral. We talk about cement mixer. But you know you're going to get one. He's got different break to it and different speeds. He'll throw at 87. He'll throw at 86. He'll throw at 83. And here is that side to spin that gives it more of a slider break with a varying of speeds. But he still has the depth angle to it. Impressive. And impressive that he has so much confidence in it. Doesn't matter the count. Stop right there. Stop, stop. This is spike breaking ball. Remember I told you about your finger pressure. It's right off a seam, A lot of guys, they don't care to have their finger on there. Adam Wainwright and some others. I know A.J. Burnett threw it that way. Keep this off, and you go here. Go a couple clicks real quick. Click, 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 click. Beautiful. Watch this. Now he gets his hand in position. Keep going, keep going. Body out over front. He's got good tilt here with his torso. Keep going. Oh, right here. Okay, so here, back up. So look at this. 12 o'clock on Kershaw. Verlander, I'm going to say that's 11. Morton, woo, we're down about 10 o'clock, right? I know it's the opposite way, so you could say it's 3 o'clock or 2 o'clock. Now we got Richard a little higher. Look at this. My point, and I wanted to show this, was these are all guys with exceptional breaking balls. Look at their release points. They're all different. They're all different. And some guys have the ability to change the type of breaking ball, like a Kluber, like a Verlander, like a Charlie Morton, where you got move off to the side. And the whole point of this is that wherever it comes out of your hand, that's going to be the start of your curve. That's going to be the start of the angle of the break. Do we have it playing any more than that? Which is why I love Kershaw, if that's the end there. Spin the baseball. You guys, your kids at home, especially with coaches, I'm going to throw the road flow right away there, Capalbo. Think about spinning the baseball. Don't think about curving it. The problem with kids, and I hear this from dads and coaches all around, when should my kids start throwing a curveball? Throw when they're old enough, mature enough, middle school. But don't have them lead with the elbow and try to curve the baseball. Think about spinning the baseball. It doesn't look as good early on because you're actually trying to be in position. Your hand's in position, set it, forget it, and pull down, and you'll get more of that break. So long as your elbow is higher than your shoulder and you pull down, I'm not going to say throwing a baseball is unnatural, but there's always the element of like being careful and make sure you're strong enough and big enough. Here are all the differences, Roflo, of a variety of different breaking balls, sliders, balls.
Where'd you get the pointer? That's what I want to know. Where'd you get the pointer, like a substitute teacher?
I'm not telling you because you're going to take it. But isn't this great? Look at this.
That's good stuff,
It had to be very specific because of the revolutions per minute.